If you are just joining us, welcome. There is some absolutely huge news coming out of Detroit and the Pistons because they have decided to part ways with head coach Dwayne Casey and general manager Troy Weaver after just their first season together, which is a shock to many, but what might be even more of a shock to some, they have decided to bring back Stan Van Gundy after he parted ways with the New Orleans Pelicans. And we've got the quote from Tom Gores himself, the Pistons owner. He said that him and Stan's relationship was just too good for them not to take another chance together. He just had too much faith in what he thought Stan Van Gundy would be able to do with a newly built team that obviously general manager Troy Weaver was able to build in his first year. And well, we're actually getting some more reports as well because it is reported that Stan Van Gundy, with his first action of business, is looking to make a move with the number 1 overall pick. We can't confirm it, but we do believe there is some interest with the New York Knicks in a potential sign and trade with Julius Randle. He said he loved the idea of what Blake Griffin did for Detroit, so Julius Randle is definitely an option right now. There is also reports that Andre Drummond will come back potentially on a max contract. There is a lot of rumors right now. There's a lot of stuff circulating, but all we know as of right now is Stan Van Gundy will be joining the Detroit Pistons, not just as the coach, but as the general manager, and that'll happen effectively immediately. Oh my God. Hey Siri, is Troy Weaver the general manager of the Detroit Pistons?
Dwayne Casey is the coach for the Pistons.
Pistons fans, just before you get the pitchforks out on me, yes, I'm aware we hear rumors about the number 1 pick and the potential of it being traded every single season, and the whole premise of them doing that is so people talk about it. And yeah, they caught me. I wanted to talk about it because why not? I mean, half the things we talk about are hypotheticals anyway, so what's another hypothetical to add to it? Is that the right attitude? I don't know if that's the right attitude, but I felt like talking about these reports and what a potential trade package from every one of these teams could look like. Again, hypothetically, it's not that serious, but also just with the 1% chance that it does happen. If we've learned one thing about Troy Weaver, we've learned a few things about him in just 1 year as a general manager, but if we've learned one thing in particular, he's not afraid to make a bold move. If he thinks something is the right decision or if he thinks something is going to pan out the right way, regardless of if it seems bold at the time, he's going to take that on. He took it on with Isaiah Stewart. People thought that was a reach of all kinds of reaches. He traded away Luke Kennard for Sadiq Bey. People thought that could have been a strange move as well, trading away Luke Kennard. He signed Jeremy Grant and saw the promise in him as someone who could be more than just a number 4 option that he was in Denver. He's done a lot of things in just 1 year that make you have a lot of confidence in him, and personally, I have a lot of confidence in him making the right decision. Whether that decision is to trade away the pick or not, most likely it's not. But at the same time, let's just entertain it because why not? We've got that chance to entertain it. I know some people get stressed out by that. If you do, that's fine. You don't have to watch this. It's perfectly fine. I understand that. But at the same time, let's talk about it. I think most people, except the Cavs and Rockets, they seem less likely, but at the same time, I don't know if that's exactly true. That's what I'm hearing. But at the same time, I think the only likely situation this does happen, and he trades away the pick is, well, you've got Zion and Shea in OKC and New Orleans. That's happening if they want to make a trade. You want to do that? I'll do it. Zion for Cade? Yeah, sure. I'll add in a first round pick, a couple of them. I'll add in 3 of them. Yeah, you think that's crazy? I don't care. Zion is unbelievable. He's a freak. Do it. But as I was saying, let's not get off track here. The Cavs and Rockets, I think this is the most likely situation. Troy Weaver, there's been speculation that the Pistons love Jalen Green. Oh, they still don't know if Cade Cunningham's the number 1 pick. Most of that stuff is just, it's probably just fluff. But at the same time, the most likely situation I think it could happen is if Houston at number 2. Obviously, the Pistons trade down and they think Jalen Green is on a same level or maybe even better than Cade Cunningham, and if they want Jalen Green, and in addition to that, Houston have 2 first-round picks, maybe they could add in another first-round pick, and it would allow the Pistons to move up in the draft, and I know someone they've been really interested in is Bouknight. Is that how you pronounce it? I'm pretty sure it's Bouknight. James Bouknight out of UConn. I know he's an explosive scorer. People have said he's the best one-on-one scorer in the draft class. He's been compared to Zach LaVine, elite athleticism. He can shoot the ball. He does a lot of things well. And by all reports, Troy Weaver really likes him as a prospect. I think he was ranked 5th on their draft board. Again, this is all reports that I heard. I think it was James Edwards III, who is the Pistons beat writer. Don't quote me on that. I know, I'm not really giving you too much substantial stuff right now, but that's what I heard, that's what I think, and I know they do like James Bouknight, so maybe if they thought they could get a Jalen Green and a Bouknight at the same time, just maybe they take that chance. Think of the Trae Young situation with Luka Doncic. If you're a Pistons fan, you might not want to think about that. Although it worked out well for both teams, you really can't deny that. But at the same time, whatever. Just think of that situation where you get someone who isn't perceived as higher talent, but also you get back a Cam Reddish as well. So you get back 2 for the price of 1. It just depends how highly you think of Cade. That's what it all comes down to at the end of the day. Kind of lost track of what I was saying because my audio just absolutely glitched for the last 2 minutes. But as I was saying, I believe, talking about Jalen Green, Cade Cunningham, James Bouknight, all of those things, this kind of ties into the Cleveland thing as well. So we don't even need to talk about Cleveland. This is the same premise, the same idea. Evan Mobley you can add to that mix. But it's all about how highly Troy Weaver thinks of Cade Cunningham or how highly he thinks of Jalen Green, Evan Mobley. That's all it's about. At the end of the day, we can talk about this for as long as possible. It doesn't matter because it all comes down to how highly he thinks of those other recruits. And he is someone that, I know he takes into equation a lot of the off-the-court stuff, a lot of the stuff that you don't see in the stat sheet. He was someone who wanted Patrick Williams. He wanted to go up and get Patrick Williams. He got Sadiq Bey because he knows he's a hard worker, that kind of guy that you want on your team. Jeremy Grant fits that mold as well. Isaiah Stewart. He's had a mold of players, and if he believes Jalen Green fits that mold, which apparently there have been reports he's the kind of guy that's going to outwork everyone, he's that kind of guy, which you hear about every single recruit every single time. But if that's what Troy Weaver sees in him, that's a chance. I think that's probably the most likely thing that could happen. Troy Weaver just loves one of the other 2 guys. He trades down and also loves a guy like Bouknight and thinks he can get 2 for the price of 1. A risky move, but he has proven he doesn't mind taking a risk. And I don't mind that idea. Again, I've seen nothing to not believe in Troy Weaver. I also haven't watched enough college basketball to know that Cade Cunningham is as good as everyone says he is. I believe it, but I also haven't seen enough to actually say it with my own conviction and be like, oh, Cade Cunningham is the next Luka Doncic or any of those things. I just haven't seen enough. And then there's the other 2 teams. As I said, I'd put Zion and Shea in the thumbnail just kind of for jokes because I don't think those guys will get traded. Obviously, David Griffin is an idiot. He is an idiot, but I don't think he's that big of an idiot. Zion Williamson is someone you can't really mess up. You can't be like, yeah, I'll trade Zion away. No, you just can't do that. Unless reports were true that his family is unhappy. Unless reports were true. And if his family's unhappy in New Orleans, bring him over here. Bring him over here. Just do it. Make it happen. Make the deal happen. I'll be happy to fly over to America and drive him to Michigan myself, even though I don't drive. But I'd be happy to do that because that is something I can get around. So Shea Gilgeous-Alexander as well, I'd be happy to do that. But realistically, you got Brandon Ingram, you got Nickeil Alexander-Walker, you've got a draft pick, you've got a couple of them. It's an interesting one. I don't know. I don't know what the Pelicans could do. I don't know what the OKC Thunder could do. They could throw in about 7,000 picks. Why am I so low on the camera right now? I guess I just got to sit up for the rest of the video. Video doesn't have much left in it. As I was saying, this isn't supposed to be the best video. I'll just admit that right now, even though it's towards the end. But all I just wanted to talk about was potential options, what could go through. Because again, very, very unlikely. But Troy Weaver has taught us one thing. He is not afraid of taking on a bold move. If there is one general manager that I think could take this kind of risk on, it would be Troy Weaver. Sounds kind of cliche, but I think it would be. So I wouldn't completely rule it out. At the same time, this article comes out every single year. Oh, teams are interested in the number 1 pick. Oh, these teams want LaMelo Ball. Oh, these teams want Cade Cunningham. Yeah, you do. That's why they're the number 1 picks, because every team wants them. So bring us some good offers. Zion Williamson, accept. Jalen Green and a couple of other picks, that's up for Troy Weaver to accept. Again, I haven't watched enough of those guys to make a decision. Brandon Ingram, no. Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. Yeah. That's my thoughts on it. Okay? Thank you.